Did you notice that Venom has actually already appeared in the brand new day trailer? When Peter got wrapped up in his own web, we could all see him trying to shoot out more webbing, but nothing came out. Then, as he fell from the cocoon, it seemed like something was holding him up. If you watch closely, you'll notice that during the fall, you can't see anything shooting out from his wrists. All you see is his arms stretching out as if someone or something was pulling him to safety. Remember the mid-credits scene in No Way Home? When Eddie was sent back to his own universe, he didn't return empty-handed. He left behind a crucial drop of the Venom symbiote in the MCU. This changes everything, because it means this was inevitable. Venom is eventually going to find Peter Parker. Now, look back at this scene in the trailer. When Peter tears through the web, pay attention to his left hand. You can clearly see that black, sticky substance coating it. The shape is definitely not a random stain. It looks almost exactly like a symbiote. There's another subtle detail that's easy to miss. When Eddie first bonded with Venom, he became extremely sensitive to sound. Any specific frequency could trigger intense pain. Interestingly, the trailer shows a scene like this too. Spider-Man clutches his head, wincing in pain, as if something around him is affecting or suppressing him. It's almost identical to how Eddie reacted back then. Then there's the shot. Peter's eyes turn dark and lifeless. It looks just like Eddie did in the early days of bonding with Venom. So, it's possible that Venom might actually appear in the movie, and in a way we never expected, bond with Peter. What do you think about that? Have you noticed these details about Tony Stark? Why does Iron Man have to tap his chest before activating his nano suit? It's kind of like a fingerprint unlock. But if you look closely, Spider-Man and Black Panther also use nanotech suits, yet they never need to use their hands to activate them. Their armor deploys instantly, based on just their thoughts. Obviously, that's way more convenient. So why did Tony add a manual security verification mechanism? The answer lies in the Battle of New York in the Avengers. Before that, Tony never imagined he'd be fighting aliens. Loki's invasion and the Chitauri army raining down on the city brought a level of fear he had never felt before. Even after sending a nuclear bomb through a wormhole, he barely made it back alive. That near-death experience left him with severe PTSD. In Iron Man 3, his anxiety only got worse. He even accidentally activated his armor while sleeping. Luckily, Pepper reacted quickly and woke him up, stopping the armor from causing more trouble. After that, Tony couldn't risk relying on his mind to control the suit anymore. With his nightmares and panic attacks, he could easily activate the armor by mistake and hurt Pepper. There was the time when Rhodey took his armor without permission. That made Tony realize how catastrophic it would be if the suit ever went out of control. Tapping his chest isn't just flipping a switch. It's a dual security verification system that combines biometric recognition and physical activation. It's a safeguard against theft and accidental activation, providing an extra layer of protection compared to simple mental control. That's Tony Stark's version of meticulous attention to detail. Have you noticed this detail? In the Spider-Man brand New Day trailer, MJ actually never forgot Peter Parker. 3 clues prove that she and Ned are pretending to be strangers for Peter's safety. At the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, to stabilize the collapsing multiverse, Peter Parker pleads with Doctor Strange to cast the ultimate forgetting spell, so that everyone forgets who Peter Parker is. He sacrifices his own identity to save the people he loves. However, in the brand New Day trailer, you can spot someone who still remembers Peter Parker. The first clue is, MJ is still wearing the Black Dahlia necklace. In Far From Home, Peter gave her that Black Dahlia necklace, a time when he shed his Spider-Man identity, and was just a boy with a heart full of love, confessing his feelings. The necklace became a symbol of their relationship. The second clue appears in the final scene of the trailer. Peter attends MJ's housewarming party as a neighbor. Inside her room, he notices an entire wall covered in Spider-Man photos. This suggests that MJ is still quietly keeping tabs on Spider-Man. More importantly, MJ refers to Peter as the friendly neighbor. This once popular nickname should have been forgotten by now, but MJ says it so naturally. It was a playful term the two shared when they were together. Finally, when Peter is awarded the key to the city, MJ and Ned's reactions while watching TV are very telling. MJ's eyes show no admiration for a stranger. Instead, they are filled with suppressed sadness, heartache, and loneliness. It's the agony of watching a loved one stand in the spotlight, being unable to approach, to embrace, or even to recognize them. Meanwhile, Ned's gaze is full of uncontainable pride and joy. It's the happiness deep in his heart for seeing his close friend succeed. In fact, the trailer had already hinted earlier that not everyone forgot Peter. In the original comics, Hulk was able to resist the forgetting spell due to his immense physical strength and mental resilience. And in the trailer, the way Hulk looks at Peter clearly shows that he knows exactly who he is. The forgetting spell is not absolute. Those with strong willpower or deep bonds with Peter can easily break free from its magic. MJ and Ned are the most important people in Peter's life. The deep connection between them is carved into their souls, giving them the strength to resist Doctor Strange's high-level magic. Did you notice this pattern in Spider-Man movies? Peter's best best friend always turns into a villain. For Tobey and Andrew, that was Harry Osborn who became the Green Goblin. But for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, his best friend is Ned. And in the comics, Ned actually becomes the original Hobgoblin. What's even more interesting is that Ned's version is unique. He's the only one who can wield chaos magic. In No Way Home, Ned effortlessly uses magic to open portals. Even Doctor Strange is shocked by his talent.
Did you just open a portal?
Yes, sir, I did.
This hints at the possibility of magic going out of control or being manipulated in the future. When Ned learns that the other Peter's best friends turned evil,
And I promise you, I won't turn into a supervillain and try to kill you.
this is exactly the kind of thing a future supervillain would say. Marvel doesn't just write throwaway lines like that. In fact, it's very likely that Ned could become the villain and even kill Peter. What's more crucial is that Peter erased everyone's memories, including Ned's. That deep friendship was the only thing keeping Ned grounded. Without it, that promise means nothing. Ned was sincere when he said it, but the memory wipe made that promise disappear as well. And he even saw Tobey's Green Goblin up close. The Goblin left behind his mask, and after losing his memory, it's possible that when Ned encounters that mask, he could be influenced by it and turn into a new generation of Hobgoblin instead of following the same Green Goblin path. So, Ned turning evil is not only highly likely, but also makes perfect sense. It would continue the tradition of Spider-Man's best friends turning dark, and it would force Peter to face the consequences of misusing magic, perfectly echoing Doctor Strange's warning from earlier. Do you ever notice this? All three Spider-Man have the same powers, but their fighting styles are completely different. Some rely on punches, some rely on gadgets. But there's one Spider-Man who literally fights like a real spider, Andrew Garfield. His Spider-Man doesn't just fight, he hunts, just like a real spider. Think back to the iconic scene in The Amazing Spider-Man. He's not just chasing the villain, he's controlling the entire environment. In the tunnel, he spreads out a huge web, because that's how a real spider hunts. The moment anything moves, he can feel it through the vibrations in the web. The web isn't just a trap, it's also his sensor for detecting his surroundings. Now, let's talk about the school fight scene. He doesn't use brute force. No heavy punches, no reckless attacks. Instead, he keeps shooting webs, slowly wrapping up the lizard's limbs, immobilizing him step by step. Just like a spider catches its prey, first it binds it, then finishes the fight. And that's what makes him unique. Tobey's Spider-Man relies on street fighting and sheer force. Even when Venom takes over, it's all about punching his way through. Tom's Spider-Man is all about technology and gadgets, using his gear to outsmart the enemy. But Andrew's Spider-Man is driven by instinct. His moves don't seem planned. They feel completely natural, like they're part of him. In fact, to better portray Spider-Man, Andrew even watched documentaries about spiders to learn their movements and how they instinctively hunt. Compared to the other two, Andrew is extremely long-limbed and flexible. His joints have a wider range of motion, allowing him to twist into many inhuman poses. That's why, when he plays Spider-Man, it doesn't just look like he's acting, it really feels like he becomes a spider. Have you noticed this detail? In the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, MJ actually remembers Peter Parker. In the first scene, Peter is in Ned and MJ's room, and there are a few interesting things you can spot. Several photos of Spider-Man, not just one, but several. This suggests something really important. Over the past 4 years, MJ has been troubled by something. Remember the end of Spider-Man No Way Home? That time, Doctor Strange's forgetfulness spell erased people's memories of Peter Parker, but it didn't erase their memory of Spider-Man. People still remember the hero, the battles he fought, and how he saved their lives. For MJ, although she doesn't remember Peter, she still wears the necklace he gave her. At the end, she has this moment of deja vu when she looks at Peter. So, imagine this scenario. She's watching the news and sees Spider-Man. There's a sense of familiarity, like she knows him, but she just can't figure out why. It seems like MJ is trying to piece everything together. She's collecting Spider-Man photos, trying to understand the connection. And there's another detail in the trailer. Peter is holding a small note. It looks like he's considering whether or not to tell them the truth. On one hand, the spell completely fails, and the multiverse risks restarting. On the other, he could lose MJ forever. If you were Spider-Man, what would you choose? Here's the big question. Will this movie have that moment where MJ finally pieces everything together and remembers Peter Parker? If Spider-Man 4 does happen, it would definitely become the most heartbreaking, touching, and profound Spider-Man movie in the MCU.